Good morning. Well, here we are again. We are continuing our walk with Jesus through the Gospel of Mark. And in doing this, we get to see Jesus in so many different circumstances. It's really enlightening to us as to who he is, what he is, and how he affects people. I love the picture that we look at today. We are in Mark chapter 6, and we're seeing here the situation where Jesus is in the synagogue in his hometown of Nazareth. He's familiar with that place. He grew up there, and they are familiar with him. They watched him grow up. They knew his family, and by this time we surmise that Joseph, Mary's husband Joseph, was probably dead, because here Jesus is identified as the son of Mary rather than the son of Joseph. So it's the people were familiar with the family. They knew them well. And there was probably a great respect for this family, because indeed God had chosen this family to be the family of the Son of God. So it's a pretty remarkable thing. So I'm sure there was a great deal of respect for them. But here's Jesus in the synagogue, and he is teaching in such an amazing way. They were wondering at him. And they also knew about the miracles that he had been performing in other places. What's happening here is that the people were seeing a great incongruity. There was something that just didn't seem to fit together, because they knew Jesus was just a man. They were all witnesses to that. They knew his mother, they knew his brothers and his sisters. But here he is, teaching with such wisdom, and evidently becoming famous throughout all of the area, because not only because of his teaching, but also because of the miracles that he was doing. How can this ordinary man be doing these things? A true incongruity in the minds of the people, and they evidently weren't sure how to handle this. It's true that some might have chosen to follow him. Eventually, many of those would, but the scripture says they took offense at him. Truly, hometown people are maybe the last to recognize a strong achievement in somebody's life. It's a saying among preachers, when preachers are called to speak on some particular topic in some other place, that an expert is just an ordinary guy 50 miles from home. Well, that's supposed to be a humorous sort of thing, but in the case of these people, we can understand. They watched Jesus grow up, and so they were not expecting this, and yet there this was. Amazing teaching, amazing wisdom, and miracles. And yet, rather than accept all of that and follow him, they rejected him. They rejected him because they didn't understand. They rejected him because they couldn't comprehend. Because of their own opinions, they rejected the Son of God. Well, Jesus evidently understood. No doubt he was disappointed, but he knew human nature. But interestingly, because of their rejection, his very work with them, his ability to do miracles with them, was limited. Even Jesus couldn't affect people in the same way because of their unwillingness to believe. And there truly is such a difference between those who do not yet believe because they have yet to see the evidence, and those who will not believe because they think they know better. And yet, don't we see this? Don't we see this even in our day all around us? We see people who reject Jesus because they are too closed-minded to understand. I'm also wondering if this incongruity that the people were seeing in Jesus is not what the world should also be seeing in us. Truly, we're just ordinary people. And yet we are to possess a godly wisdom that is beyond us. We are supposed to demonstrate a love that is extraordinary. Shouldn't people be seeing in us these qualities that make them ask, who are these people? Where does that wisdom and that compassion come from? Truly, we are ordinary people who possess a heavenly presence, a godly presence. And I would hope that the world would see in us something that is beyond the ordinary, more than they could simply explain by our normal upbringing. They see in us something that is truly of God. I love these scenes where the human side of Jesus is demonstrating the God side of Jesus. This is one reason why the Gospels are so powerful. We see godliness in a human form that inspires us to live in that same sort of way. We see in Jesus characteristics carrying on life in such a way that inspire us, and we want to follow after that. That's exactly what the Gospels are for. And so today, carry with you this idea that we are people who possess an extraordinary gift, the gift of God's wisdom and God's love. And we are to share that with the people around us. And this wisdom and this love goes far beyond what people would normally have expected because of our upbringing, because it doesn't come from our parents. It doesn't come from our upbringing. It comes from the presence of God in our lives. Have a great day. Bye.